Hello, my name is Ali Qasim, and my mentor was Dr. Il-Seng Yoon. My presentation is the effects of strong gravitational lensing between binary quasars, galaxy, and multiple AGNs. Topic background information. So, the astronomical concept I explored this summer was gravitational lensing, specifically strong gravitational lensing and its effect on finding binary quasar. Simulating gravitationally lensed images by learning Python coding was the focus. To give a very simple explanation, gravitational lensing is the distortion of light from a source as it travels through space due to the gravitational field of another source of mass. Strong lensing is specifically when the gravitational field of an astronomical object is strong enough to produce two or more images of a single background source around it, giving a bent, split, or distorted object of light around the object in a captured image of the sky. This is modeled with the thin lens approximation, which is where the lensing effects are assumed as happening in a 2D plane. Next, as you can see in this image, the light from a source takes a longer path due to gravity delay and geometry delay as it approaches another object. Then, the light rays are bent, which is deflection, and this causes the images of the source that appear to us as stretched or compressed. The source images are displaced from the true position and can appear as multiple objects. And as you can see here, our project has a focus on strong lensing, not these other types of gravitational lensing. Now, the purpose of the project is using Python and Jupyter notebooks for lens simulation. The project's goal was to simulate different gravitationally lensed images using strong lensing to see the effects from different sources. The main use, we wanted to collect images to get LSST, which is Legacy Survey of Space and Time, data, since these strong lensing simulations are designed for simulating LSST images. The simulations represent a source, as the light emitted from the source is what is being lensed, a deflector, a galaxy bending the light to create a magnified and distorted image of the source around it, acting as a lens, and the specific parameters such as redshift, offset from the center of the image, angular size, and more. So what did we simulate? Well, the first three images simulated included a quasar as a point source, which is an AGN inside a galaxy, lensed by the deflector. A galaxy has an extended source lensed by the deflector, and a combination of one point and one extended source, which is a galaxy and a quasar, being lensed by the deflector together, which are done to show examples of strong lensing. Now, the project's main focus was the last two image types, a simulation of two quasar, which is binary quasar as a point source lensed by deflector, and an uninvestigated scenario, two galaxies merged, which is two AGNs in one galaxy system, or we would say two point sources and an extended source, all lensed by the deflector. Here are some parameters and terms to understand. Source will be the object in the background. Deflector will be the object in between the source and the observer, which is us. KPC is a kiloparsec, which is a unit of distance equal to 100 parsecs. 1 parsec is approximately 3.26 light years. AGN is active galactic nuclei, a compact region at the center of galaxy that is powered by an accreting supermassive black hole. Quasars are a specific case of AGN where its energy is comparable to the one from the entire galaxy. Redshift is defined by the variable c, when light from a distant object is stretched to longer wavelengths as the universe expands and thus appears redder, which is used as a measure for distance. Angular size is the effective radius of the lensing galaxy's light in arcsec. Mag G, Mag R, Mag I, Mag Z, and Mag Y are magnitudes in the GRIZY bands, which is brightness of lensing in different photometric bands. G is green, R is red. Theta E is the Einstein radius, which is the angular radius of the light ring in the image when the source lens and observer align. Gamma PL is the power law slope in the elliptical power law mass model, and Thirsic is the intensity of a galaxy, which is the concentration of light based on distance, and then center X and center Y are the offset from the center in the image in any number of arcsec. Now for coding, the main software used for the project was Jupyter Notebooks and Python 3.13, and GitHub was a resource used to get the code for example simulations seen on the next slide. While Jupyter Notebooks was where I wrote in code and was able to simulate lensed images. Python was the language for these simulations. Python code was put into cells in Jupyter, and changing our parameters gave different images. Now, to create color images of galaxies, the simulations have multiple photometric bands, mag G, R, I, etc., as I said on the last slide, and there is a point spread function convolution on each band to mimic realistic telescope blurring. Mag G is green, Mag I is blue, and Mag R is red, so there is an RGB composite combining them into one single color image. And now we will get into the example scenarios to portray strong lensing. So our first scenario is a point source. This is the strong lensing of a quasar. We have the parameters listed here, and this is what the image looks like. Next, we have our extended source, which is a strong gravitational lensing of a galaxy. And see over here, we had these two green blobs, and now it's like a green ring. So this is the difference. And then we have scenario 3, our point and extended source. This is the strong gravitational lensing of a quasar and a galaxy. We've got each source here, and this is what it looks like. The green part's the galaxy, the blue part is the quasar. And this orange part is the deflector. Now, here are the objective scenarios to simulate strong lensing of phenomena not investigated. Note, we are only considering quasars at the same redshift in order to properly differentiate multiple quasars in simulations. So first, we have the strong lensing of a binary quasar, which is again a point source. And you can see the first quasar here, and then the second one here. Now here are our findings. The smaller the distance between the two quasars are in kiloparsec, the harder it is to differentiate the two in the image. You can only see a notable difference at 100 parsecs. Like here we have a 24 kiloparsec vertical separation, and then here we have a 1 kiloparsec horizontal separation. You can see some blue here, but once we get to 10 parsecs, you can barely notice. And for the main scenario, 2 point sources and extended source. This is the strong gravitational lensing of a full system with the merging of binary quasar and a galaxy. And we've got quasar here, and the galaxy here. And once again, the smaller the distance between the two objects are in kiloparsecs, the harder it is to differentiate the two in the images. Although you don't need as high of a separation of kiloparsec between the two objects to notice a large difference. Like here, 2 kiloparsec suffices, and the last one it was 24 kiloparsecs. But then here you actually need a much larger kiloparsec separation to notice a difference at first than just 100 parsecs. Like here we have 350 parsecs until we see a difference. At 100 parsecs, can't really see a difference, and then at 500 parsecs, you can slightly see the other quasar here, and then at 2 kiloparsecs, you can see this large difference. So in conclusion, we hypothesized that as the distance between the two sources were lens got closer in units of kiloparsec, it would be hard to see both of them lens, which was observed. Our image results are significant because we collected LSST data of the special and tested scenario, the merging of a binary quasar and a galaxy, adding knowledge to how this event appears when it goes through strong lensing. And although this project isn't continuing by me, more scenarios with even more AGNs can be simulated for LSST data. Thank you to Dr. Il-Seng Yoon for taking the time to mentor me this summer, for his expertise in explaining strong lensing and astronomical concepts to me, for helping me in troubleshooting any code issues in Jupyter Notebooks, and for his efforts in writing the correct code for the third and fifth scenario when I had trouble with it. We now have 2 minutes for any questions. Ask away.